Yo, what is going on, guys? Hutcho322 here, back, and today, guys, I'm bringing you another ASL weekly recap video. And fans and coaches of the ASL, if you go ahead and leave a like down below and subscribe if you have not already, that would be awesome if you show you guys is support. So anyways, we have week 7 of ASL season 3 right here. And the weekly heroes for this week consist of Latias, Volcarona, Mega Deoncy, and Weavile. Mega Deoncy and Weavile are double ups, but nonetheless, only Latias and Volcarona met my criteria, which is 3 kills, no deaths. And there were too many 2 kills, no deaths to put it on here, so yeah. I just went ahead and doubled up since they are kill leaders. I think they deserve to be on here more than once. But anyways, let's go ahead and hop right into this video. For this week, we have a 6-0, a 3-0, a 5-0, 3-0, 3-0, 3-0, 4. Lots of 3-0s this week, 4 to be exact, which is more than half the matches. So, yeah, let's go ahead and hop right into the first match. First up, we have the Denver Nummels taking on the Royale Gardevoir. The Master winning a 6-0 over Gustavo. Latias picking up that nice little 6-0. I believe it was a Calm Mind sweep. And let's get right to it. Let me find my replays tab. Here it is. Let's hop right into it. We have a Crustle against Spiritomb. And going into Moltres, predicting the Will-O-Wisp. Gustavo goes right into Moltres on that play. Very good play. Middle ground play, nonetheless, very solid one. Goes for what is probably the HP Rock, if I had to guess. I don't really know. I think HP Poison, which would have been a much better bring on Milotic, but I'm not too sure. Demaster's going to go for the return as Spiritomb comes in. He's going to switch out, basically revealing that he does not have Play Rough, since there's no risk of it being burned due to his Comatose ability. Moltres is just going to launch off a big Overheat, get some good damage into Milotic. Demaster doing a good job weakening down this Milotic, but the problem is Milotic can always recover, such as Gustavo just did. Milotic is going to go into Spiritomb, as this Komal is basically revealing that it can't really touch the Spiritomb, as he did not pack Play Rough, which was probably better judgment since there were much better coverage moves that could have been used against Gustavo's team. And Gustavo actually has not been bringing Chansey like at all recently. I'm not aware if he dropped it or anything. I don't think he did, but he just has not been utilizing Chansey that much lately. Which honestly is nice for me in terms of weekly recap, because it makes these videos a heck of a lot shorter. So out comes Latias on the Scald. The Master brings it in on perfect time, and he's gonna set up a Calm Mind here. And Milotic apparently does not have Toxic or Haze, so I think that was misprep on Gustavo's part. Yeah, I think that was definitely mispreparation on his part. But Latias is just gonna go for the Dragon Pulse, claim its first kill, kill the Manectric, so that's its second kill. Latias gonna come out. Best play is for Demaster's Calm Mind up again. Ice Beams are not doing anything to it, so it can just sit here and recover all day, or just Calm Mind, to be honest. There's nothing on Gustavo's team that actually outspeeds this thing. I think the Master is getting to the point where Psyshock will one-shot the Cobalion, because Cobalion might be able to put in the work. It's just going to go for the Psyshock on Milotic and just annihilate it. Out comes Savali. You are not living a hit. It really confuses me why Gustavo did not go to Mega Gardevoir earlier, like when the Master only had 2 Calm Minds up. I think that was a really big misplay on his part, just because if Latias only has 2 Calm Minds up, I believe Gardevoir lives, it can do a fair amount of damage with Hyper Voice, and as you can see, do work with Cobalion. I don't really agree with that. Because he obviously saw that it was a Calm Mind sweeper, so he's gonna have stab plus recovery, since he was confident enough to leave it on Ice Beam Milotic. That's just my 2 cents. Whatever. Either way, that is gonna be the game. The Denver Nuggets are going to take a 6-0 victory over the Royale Gardevoir. So next up, we have the Portland Timbers taking on the Utah Hoots. It was a 3-0 victory in the Utah Hoots' favor, as Mega Deontay is one of the weekly heroes. I choked very much in prep, as I made videos on my own channel. This video against the Hoots will be actually going up the same day as this goes up, so pretty ironic there. But I mentioned that I choked prepping in terms of I didn't bring Fortress, so yeah. Anyways, Victini, Skarmory, I just go for the U-turn, very safe play. Go to my Vaporeon because I know Wild Charge will do like 42% max, so I'm not really worried about that. So I can just freely fire off a Toxic, expecting the Rotom Wash to come in. He goes into Skarmory. I just make the safe play by going for Wish, and then I can go into my Victini. In case he wants a Brave Bird, I will be at full percent unless he's like banded Skarmory, which he obviously isn't. I'm going to go for the Blue Flare just in case he wants to stay in and be cheeky. I reveal that I'm a special variant. He's actually going to miss Toxic, which is pretty important for me. And I believe I go for the Protect here. I do go for the Protect. And he's going to bring Rotom in. And I want to switch out straight to my Virizion. This Virizion set is designed to counter this Rotom. I'm a special variant, so I don't care about Will-O-Wisp. He's going to set up Spikes, and this is pretty bad. Because it was at this point in the match where I was like, oh my god, I'm such an idiot. Why didn't I bring Fortress? Yeah. He did bring good prep by noticing that my Hazard Removers did not have a good matchup to Hazard Stack. So we're going to trade Toxic here. And he's going to go into Skarmory. I go for the Wish. And I believe I go for Scald here. No, I actually double into my Victini. I get all that health back just because of my Vaporeon's Wish. That's super nice. I get to just U-turn out on the Rotom Wash here. And I get to go into my Virizion, of course. As you can see, that does like nothing. And I actually go for the Focus Blast here, predicting Skarmory to come out. This does 2-hit KO, and I don't land it. That's pretty significant because this crap wouldn't have happened. I would still have my Victini, and because I can't come back in on hazards. So that sucks because Victini really dented my opponent's team. It really dented Susie's team. But yeah, I just gotta sit here and let my Victini go down. I'm for it. If I land the Focus Blast, I would get rid of Skarmory, but you know, 70% accurate moves. I believe this is a long match, so yeah, I think a lot of these are decently long. So 23 turns in, we have the first kill of the match. Oh my god. I'm gonna have my Vaporeon in. He's gonna go into his Rotom. That was a huge misplay on my part. I 100% should have Scalded. Because if I Scald, then his Rotom would have been dead. So that sucks. He's gonna get a big chunk off on me. He goes into his Cofagrigus. I believe he goes for the Hex here, as I will live the next Toxic and get this Wish back. Yes, he does go for the Hex. Oh, my mouse is on the screen. I'm so sorry. This is a very stally battle. My Vaporeon is tough for his team to take down, but since it is Toxic, it's much easier for his team to take down. He's going to make a great double on my Virizion switch in. So props to him on that. I go to my Hippowdon. I believe I just set rocks up here. Yep, that's exactly what I do, which I should have in retrospect. Oh no, it doesn't matter. Never mind. Because I got the Sandstorm up. He's gonna go to Landorus, and I don't want to play with any shenanigans. I'm just gonna sack on my Virizion. I had a chance to live that U-turn. I actually had a really good chance to live that U-turn, but you know, such is life. He's gonna have the Roost as I go for the Wish, and I will be able to get the Wish before the residual hits me. So, very, very nice. He's gonna go over the Roost, and his Skarmory is basically invincible against my team right now. I do have ace in the hole for that, but since Victini's gone, it's very tough for me to beat this thing down. Hold up, is this on fast? Yeah, it's on fast. Oh my lord. So Skarmory's gonna go over the Brave Bird into my Doublade. I got the Shadow Claw, I'm sacking Doublade now. I don't know. I don't even know why I brought the Blade. Why did I bring the Blade? Oh my god. I played this match so stupidly. I'm gonna go with the Slack Off. Probably should have Earthquake there on his Roost, but I need my Hippowdon to be healthy. And I have nothing to hit him with. So I'm just gonna Earthquake and Earthquake. I got the Slack Off here, definitely a misplay. Should have Earthquaked again. He's gonna go Scyphagrius. Good play. He doesn't need a Scyphagrius anymore. He's just gonna Toxic my Hippowdon. Yeah, my Hippowdon will be able to pick up the kill, but I double into Vaporeon. Wait, why did I do that? What? I'm questioning my plays right now. Anyways, Vaporeon is gonna kill with Scald. And goes out into Deontay. I gotta sack my Vaporeon. And this Deontay is gonna clean house on me. I'm gonna Hippowdon. Do I double here? No. Why didn't I double? God, I miss. Oh my lord. I do Earthquake on his Roost, but it does literally nothing. So this is obviously max physically defensive for my Pinsir. Yeah, because Pinsir's kind of a threat to his team. I just go for the Shadow Sneak to do whatever damage. I'm gonna go to my Mega Pinsir. I know he's gonna swap into Skarmory, so I'm gonna go ahead and hit him up with a nice Smackdown. And we're gonna EQ, get that nice little tech off. I didn't get to show it off against Keister, so I get to go show it off in this game. Happy about that. I go to Hippowdon, but with all the residual damage, yeah. That's the whole game. That's the whole game. That's the whole game. To be honest, I should have stayed in there. With free next day delivery from Staples, but would it have mattered? No, not at all. That's gonna be the game. The Utah Hoots are gonna win. Why is there an advertisement? There's an advertisement. Whatever. Next game. If I sound like low energy, it's because it's 11 at night. I'm sorry, but this is when I was recording it. Otherwise, it'd be a day later. So we have the St. Louis Swablues taking on the BC Bibberolls, and Volcarona being another one of the weekly heroes. 3 in a row, actually. Pretty impressive. As the BC Bibberolls are going to take a 5-0 victory, asserting their dominance, well, keeping their dominance in the ASL as they are the #1 seed. 6-1 with a +22. Alright, let's get into the match. First up, we got Bronzong and Gourgeist. Very much favors Malone, but he's going to he's going to swap into Drapion since Drapion can pressure it. He's going to go into Hitmontop, which I just noticed that TG nicknames his Hitmontop's Fidget. I actually nickname it the same thing. So, yeah, Jackie, that's my name too. Wow, I'm seeing a lot of deja vu here. So, Gourgeist is going to miss a Willows. Really doesn't matter because it's into Keldeo. Keldeo is going to double into Bronzong as stuffs doublings. Gets it into oh my god, I almost said Gourgeist. Galvantula. Galvantula's got to take a pretty big Gyro Ball since it is a speedy little fella. It is just going to go ahead and go for the Volt Switch. And now Galvantula is basically just going to be sacked. Don't agree with that play. Thunderbolt definitely should have came off. It's a much better play. Because if you Thunderbolt, at least you get to sit on the field for Hitmontop, but now webs are not going to stay up. So Gorgeist is going to take a gyro ball. Definitely does not appreciate that. Is going to get the synthesis off. So very, very fortunate. Mega Lopunny gets to come out here, and Mega Lopunny, arguably one of the best Megas. Malone has not used it well this season or last season, or to be fair, any time that I have ever seen him use it. No offense, Malone, but yeah. Anyways, Bronzong is going to go for the Protect. Very, very nice play on TG's part and good preparation. He's going to swap into Hitmontop. Very fair sack. It is at 2%. So TG played around this Mega Lopunny extremely well, exceptionally well. And Lando T going to come out. Lander is G. That's pretty nice. Spelled Poseidon wrong, I'm pretty sure. Or no, that's how you spell it. Never mind. Again, 11 o'clock. Losing it right here. So, Secret Sword, gonna do nothing to the fat moon duck that is Cresselia. I'm pretty sure Malone has brought this thing every single week, and it is literally the bane of weekly recap. It makes everything it makes every match longer. I don't appreciate it. Malone, all I ask is you don't bring Cresselia, alright? Thank you. Appreciate it. So, Drapion can go for that poison jab. He's gonna go for the Aqua Tail, probably expecting Lando T to come out. Fair prediction, just doesn't happen. Keldeo is gonna go for the Scald into Cresselia. Bronzong, fair swap every single time, since the only thing Cresselia can do to a Bronzong is go ahead and go for the Shadow Ball, which Malone would have gone for it already, probably on a prediction. At least I would have. So, Jackie gonna go for that Synthesis. And every match gotta be so long, doesn't it? Every match just has to take forever now, doesn't it? So Keldeo, gonna take a Will-O-Wisp. It's just residual chip on Keldeo, if anything. He's gonna swap into Cresselia. I don't really understand that at all because Gorgeist 100% walls Keldeo. And for the sake of weekly recap, whoa. For the sake of weekly recap, we thank you TG for your service, but I don't really understand that play. And then Malone is gonna go ahead and sack off Galvantula. Not sure about that. Volcarona is gonna go for the Bug Buzz. It's gonna go for the Giga Drain, and here's the 3-mon sweep by TG. Pasho Berries, so definitely prepped for that Primarina. That is gonna be the game. The BC Baby Rolls are gonna take a 5-0 victory over Malone, as Volcarona is finally gonna put in some work. As before this match, it was 2-0. Which 2-0, pretty good. But now it's 5-0 in like 3 or 4 matches or something like that. I don't really know. I haven't seen Volcarona pop up that much. That's all I know. Next up, we have the Phoenix Flygons, which that's the new logo I designed for Keister because the old one I gave him was like a year ago, and it's so rough around the edges. I couldn't bear to see it, so I made him a new one. And taking on the Intermelodic, and the Phoenix Flygons, also 6-1, did pick up a W this week. In a 3-0 fashion, as Weavile, God, that thing is a monster. I think it's like 3rd for MVP. It's definitely way up there in MVP race. I think top 5 Mons are, if I had to guess, Mega Deontay, Mega Sharpedo, Weavile, Mega Pinsir, and Slurpuff. I think, because Slurpuff is like 7-2 or something like that. Anyways, let's get it. Ditto and Probopass. So, might see double rocks, but Keister is going to go ahead and Volt Switch on out of there. Go into Mega Venusaur. Out comes Rotom Heat, which Rotom Heat is a very good swap into Mega Venusaur. It can't really do anything to Mega Venusaur, but it's a fair swap into it. It does run the risk of getting poisoned by Sludge Bomb. But Crobat also a very good swap in to Mega Venusaur. And Static has great preparation, brings a Super Fang. Very, very smart prep to chip down the Celesteela. And yeah. Rotom is going to try and get that guy out of there with a Volt Switch. Keister wants to just go for the Protect, get as much health back as he can. Static is going to get the crit, which is very detrimental to Keister. Static might have the Heat Wave here. He'll show it off right now, but he's actually going to go for the U-turn. Right now, he's going to go for the U-turn again. So he wasn't trying to bait or anything. He's going to go and do Zygarde. ASL Steel is going to go for the Air Slash. Zygarde is showing off its natural bulk. Zygarde is a very, very bulky Pokemon, and it just got bulkier, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to go for the Coil. Mega Venusaur packing that HP Ice. Good prep on Keister's part. Misses a Leech Seed, which is pretty unfortunate. He's going to miss another Leech Seed, so that's extremely unfortunate. Might I add, there's like a 5% chance of that happening. Crobat's going to go for that Brave Bird. He's going to Brave Bird it up again. And down goes Florges. So Manaphy gets to come in here. Manaphy can take a Brave Bird. Is going to go for the Hydro Vortex. Do like nothing. Absolutely nothing. As Clefable can go ahead and softball it off. So essentially wasted the Z move. So, it's going to be Cosmic Power Clefable. And this confirms that it is Magic Guard. And, yeah, things are not looking too good for Keister at the moment. At least Manaphy can Tail Glow faster and is actually going to get a crit. And takes that stored power actually really nicely. That crit is extremely significant. Because otherwise, Clefable would have probably won if it had the correct coverage, which it did. It had stored power. All it would need to win is Moonblast, stored power, insert fire move here. No. It would only need it would need fire move, stored power, cosmic power, and soft boiled, and it would win. That's pretty important. And Static is not looking too good right now. Yeah, that crit definitely changed the course of the game. But Celesteela will be sitting out here. Is going to take that U-turn. Goes into Rotom Heat. Mega Venusaur comes out. Like, Rotom Heat and Mega Venusaur, they can swap into each other, but can't do anything to each other. Static with the great nicknames. I like it. I like it. He's gonna go for the Shadow Ball into the, what I would assume to be Mega Zam, but I'm not seeing it. Maybe it's Colbur Berry. I was gonna go for the knockoff. Nope, it was Mega. He's gonna go for the knockoff again. Get rid of that Choice Scarf. So yeah, that's a Choice Scarf Weavile if I've ever seen one. Out comes the Weavile on the Clefable and just gets a click Icicle Crash to win the game. So very, very good end game by Keister. Very unfortunate hacks against Static earlier in the match, but still, it is the game we play. Next up, we have the Florida Floatsels taking on the Newlandians, and we have a pretty decisive match. Laurie being the only coach with a 5-2 record. She's third in the playoff picture, I think. I believe Sand was actually brought to this match. Like, there's not been a lot of times that Laurie actually brought Sand. I think this is one of the games. I don't know. We'll see in a minute. Anyways, let's get into the match. We have a Lycanroc Shaman lead, and Araquanid is going to come out on the Shaman. Very good swap in as Araquanid is such a bulky Pokemon. Really, the only thing the Shaman could do is like Air Slash. So Araquanid gets to go for the Leech Seed on the Shaman. Gets to go for the Scald. As Rocker's actually going to show off the Crunch. I don't understand the Crunch at all. That doesn't make any sense why he would bring Crunch. Yeah, I'm being 100% honest. I think a better move would have been like Toxic, since Toxic is pretty detrimental to her team. But Mega AGG Ron, gonna go for Thunder Wave, miss it on the Suicune. Suicune is too agile. Tornadus, gonna go for the Hurricane, nice and miss on Aggron. Torn goes for the U-turn. This Torn is going to show off the Life Orb as it's finally gonna hit a move. Aggron going for the Thunder Wave, as Rocker's going to make a pretty aggressive play into Infernape. Fair play, to say the least. And Infernape is going to go for that Overheat. I don't really know why Rocker runs Overheat. I think Fire Blast is much more usable since you can spam it, but I don't really know. Like, they both miss, and they both miss about the same amount of times. Anyways, Torrent-T gonna go for the Heat Wave and get rid of Mega AGG Ron. 15 turns in, we have the first kill. Suicune comes out on Infernape, and Rocker's gonna miss a Stone Edge. That sucks, but I don't think 2 Stone Edges kill. Rocker, no, it definitely didn't. Since Gunk Shot has a higher base power than that, Stone Edge. So yeah. Tornadus Therian and Lycanroc Day. Lycanroc Day gonna go for that nice Sora's Dance as Suicune is gonna be asleep. He's gonna SD again as Suicune is gonna get the Sleep Talk Rest. So very unfortunate on Lari's part. Lycanroc gonna keep SDing, does not care, and Lari's getting very, very screwed over in terms of Sleep Talk. That still does literally nothing. Lycanroc gets up with a Scald, and that does like nothing. It's getting over the Crunch, but is going to be outsped by this Scarf Excadrill. So actually Sand wasn't brought. I am corrected. Of course. So Shaman is going to get hit up with a Liquidation. And Torn-T going to go for that Hurricane, or it's at least going to try to go for it on the Araquanid. It's going to land it on the Thundurus. Does not get the Confusion, unfortunately, for Lari. I guess to go into Shaman, hoping there's no Sludge Wave shenanigans. That is not the case. Grass type versus Grass type here, and Serena can do a huge chunk of damage with U-turn. Get back into Araquanid, and Araquanid's got to take a Toxic, but can go for the Liquidation. Like, that's a fair prediction that Excadrill would come out, because Excadrill kind of just wins at this point. But still, I think the better play would have just been Leech Seeding, since she was confident enough to leave it in that long. So out comes Excadrill, and Rock Slide will, of course, kill. I would doubt that that crit mattered, otherwise Lari would not have brought it in. So Mega Gallade is going to take a U-turn to the face. Out comes Infernape, and Infernape is not going to outspeed, but it is Choice Scarf Infernape. So, especially since it was Choice Scarf Infernape, Rocker should have brought Fire Blast. Doesn't help for that scenario, but anyways, Lari's going to whip out that nice Destiny Bond, Mega Gallade, and I really like the preparation there. Just because it eliminates one Mon from Rocker's team. And Lari going to throw some salt in that wound. Got that Weakness Policy, Rock Polish, T-Tar. And very, very good prep. Had to show it off at the end by clicking Rock Polish. I would have done the same, of course. So that's going to be the game. The New Zealandians going to win a 3-0 victory, as they're going to be 3rd place in the division. Well, in the standings. Next up, we have the Arcane Arcanites taking on the Contract Killers, and this is the main event for ASL Season 7. It's an ASL holiday, actually. It's the Commissioner Bowl. If you guys didn't know, our 2 commissioners for the league are Ian and Brad. Your Anderson and Motives on your screen. And we all have a week of tourneys and stuff like that. It's a really fun time. So we had a lot of fun doing tourneys for emotes and whatnot, and then which ultimately leads up to the match where the Contract Killers did take it home this season. I believe they're 2-1 in it now. I don't know how they went. I think think Brad won the first one. Ian won last season. Yeah, I think that's how it was. And then Brad won this season. I'm not too sure. Kangaskhan put in work. That's all I know. Let's hop into the match. Got a Sableye, Jolteon lead, very much favoring Modus. And Anderson probably forgot the Prankster as he recovered. Just going to go with the taunt so Uxie cannot set up rocks. Uxie's not playing no games. Just go straight for the knock. And then he's going to go ahead and U-turn on out of there. Get into the Jolteon. The Jolteon does a lot. Goes into Electros, which Electros is a pretty free swap every single time. Sableye gonna come in. Take a knockoff. Go for the Will-O-Wisp on Uxie, so that's some nice chip. As Ian has no way to remove it. Gengar is actually gonna go for the knockoff. So gets rid of that Choice Scarf on Flygon, which is gonna be pretty significant for the Gengar. And Sableye gets to go for that nice Prankster recover. Has to be T-Waved, which doesn't really matter in terms of its Prankster, but it will matter if it gets paralyzed. So out comes Kangaskhan. And Kangaskhan gonna go ahead and go for the fake out, do a nice 40%. This just shows off how bulky Kangaskhan is. It is a pretty bulky mon. It's got a pretty decent HP stat. It's gonna over the return do so much damage to Uxie. And Uxie's gonna U-turn out, but it does absolutely nothing. It's gonna go into Goodra, get this thing out of here. Kangaskhan gonna come in, go for the Sucker Punch on that. Goes out into Staraptor, which Anderson can go into Sableye. And does not want to play around with the Prankster, so recover. Gonna come in here. There's nothing that Uxie can do. Is gonna taunt. I definitely think the better play was to recover. Nonetheless, Sableye is going to drop to a Shadow Ball. But out comes Electros. Sableye did his job. It burned the Uxie so it could not heal itself back up. Electros is going to get an unnecessary crit. Out comes Mega Scizor. Mega Scizor going to go for that big U-turn. Goes into Jolteon, which will obviously launch off that HP Ice. It is even at a 4-4. Out comes Kangaskhan. Kangaskhan knows it can take a hit and goes for the Fire Punch. Kangaskhan gonna live that Bullet Punch, showing off how bulky it is. Goes into Staraptor. Get over the Sucker Punch. Get some solid damage off. And wow, Kangaskhan just putting in a lot of work this match. Azelf is gonna come in, and Azelf wins, I believe, because Azelf is base 115 speed, and I think Gengar is base 110 speed, if I have my speed tiers correct. Once this Jolteon's gone, and it's that's gotta be AV Electros. Out comes Azelf, and that is gonna be the game. Oh my god, I just blanked. The Contract Killers are gonna win a 3-0 victory, as they are gonna win this season's Commissioner Bull 3-0. And apparently this is the only one not been decided by hacks. So that's pretty impressive. And last but not least, we have the final match, which is the Keldeo Hub Resolutes taking on the Nightmare Nidoking. And for the last match, there are no weekly heroes, but the Keldeo Hub Resolutes did take a very, very big 4-0 victory over the Nightmare Nidoking, which are similar in records. They actually have an identical record, and they have similar differentials. So this match was pretty important because no one is out of the playoffs yet. Even Malone down there at 0-7, he still has a shot by technicality. So yeah, let's get it. We have an Aselgor, Mega Charizard, X-Lead. This is a great play by Ghost off the bat. Just wants to go ahead and Final Gambit. Get Megazard out of the match. I love it. Great preparation. Persian is going to go for the Parting Shot. Go ahead and get into Zapdos. Go ahead and defog there. Wilfred, the Mammoth, I'm going to go for the Icicle Crash. Not do that much. He's going to Volt Switch, probably predicting a switch. Out comes Blastoise as rocks get up, and Mega Blastoise can go ahead and Rapid Spin if it so decides to do that. Alolan Persian gonna get Toxic here, so a little unfortunate for Alolan Persian. Mamoswine is going to get Toxic though, and Persian is gonna go for the Parting Shot, so Ghost getting very good momentum here. He's gonna go into Blastoise on that Icicle Crash, do literally nothing, and forces out Mamoswine, or so you thought. This is a pretty bulky Mamoswine. Mamoswine actually has a really good HP stat, so Mamoswine can tend to be a bulkier type of Pokemon. It doesn't have good defense or special defense, but if you make it a defensive Pokemon, it can be a defensive Pokemon, or at least a semi-defensive Pokemon. Piloswine is much better at being defensive, but you know. Mega Blastoise is gonna go for the Water Pulse on the Snorlax, and Snorlax is gonna go to sleep. And Mega Blastoise says, "Anything you can do, I can do better." He's gonna go ahead and rest up. So an area showing that the Snorlax does not have Rest Talk. It's gonna double into Leafeon on the Zapdos. Does not want to take a Heat Wave to the face. So Zapdos is gonna defog, just make the safe play, and then go ahead and roost up on this sleeping Snorlax. It's gonna go for the Volt Switch, get that guy out of there. Go into Persian, which can take the Facade, because Persian's Fur Coat ability makes it so bulky. Goes to the Parting Shot, which is really giving Ghost phenomenal momentum right now. Takes a Facade. Jiraiya's gonna go for the Iron Head. Then he's gonna U-turn on out of there. Get some decent damage off on this Leafeon. Leafeon gonna go for the Substitute. And Persian can basically just foul play here. But he's gonna Roar, which is even better, so good preparation on Ghost's part. I was probably there for Megachar X, but works just the same. He's gonna Parting Shot, go into Darmanitan, and Darmanitan basically is to claim its kill. Is going to kill said Leafeon. Goes into Snorlax. Jirachi is gonna take that Earthquake pretty well. He's gonna go ahead and U-turn into Snorlax. Zapdos gonna take this Earthquake like a champion. Zapdos is going to go for the Volt Switch, and I'm noticing this is a much longer weekly recap, but you know, is what it is. Jirachi going to Wish, take an Earthquake, as Wishrachi is pretty bulky Pokemon. I like Jirachi more as a bulky Pokemon than just a flinch hacks, mindless button clicking Pokemon. People think Jirachi is just a Pokemon where you just send it in to flinch everything to death. While that is true, you could do that. I would much rather use it as like a support Pokemon. Like even a Calm Mind Super. But Pangoro is going to go for the knockoff into Alolan Persian. Persian going to go for the Parting Shot to get into Jirachi. To just Iron Head. It does get a flinch. Will it get another flinch? Of course it will. It has a 60% chance. Why wouldn't it flinch? You can just U-turn on out of there. It's technically hacks if you don't get the Iron Head flinch or Heart Stamp. That's actually true. So, Pangoro gonna go for the Drain Punch, as Darmanitan is gonna claim its kill with Superpower. I believe it just sacks off. He just sacks off the Darmanitan. No, he just goes for the U-turn. He's gonna go into Alolan Persian as a sack, and Bulk Up Mew might pull it back here. Looks decent, but Jirachi gonna take that hit pretty well. Gets to go for the U-turn. Going to Mega Blastoise, get it in range indefinitely for this Dark Pulse to kill. And while that mattered that he got a Sleep Talk or not, I don't really know, because I'm pretty sure Zapdos could have won depending on the moveset. But anyways, that is gonna be the video, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and go for what's upcoming next week, and that is going to be the video. Thank you guys for watching. I know it was a little bit of a longer one, but we did get through it. Again, thank you guys for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe down below if you have not already, and go check the description for all the replays if you want to watch them at your own pace. And if you guys are ever like, oh, well, I want more content from them, but they're just not posting it, go back and watch some of our other older content. Maybe it's been a while since season 2 and you want to refresh back up on it. That's why they're still on the channel, of course. But yeah, anyways, thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe down below if you have not already. See you guys in the next one. Goodbye.